That's right. Welcome to the Eternal Baseball Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Weber, and noticeably absent, you see there are two chairs back there, is my partner in crime, my oldest friend, Brent Rotundi, who was expecting to be here, and an airline to be named later has kept that from happening. So don't read anything into the empty chair or me in the spotlight, which is exactly what my pasty ass means. But it is an exciting night because we're going to crown a new champion tonight. So the defending champs of the Oakland A's, they're out, and we're bringing you at least one game tonight. So in the Eternal Series, the Chicago Cubs lead the New York Yankees 3-2, and that means Game 6, which is technically Monday's Game 6, is coming to you live. That's no doubt. If the Cubs win, they'll clinch their first ever eternal championship. And we do want to, and that would make Cam Fletcher, our director of research, very happy. It would make, by proxy, Tino Grappi, who's Tiger fan number one, make him happy for Javi Baez. And I'm not sure who Brian's rooting for, but we appreciate him being along for the ride. Because we're going to crown a champ tonight. Now, here's the deal. If the Yankees win Game 6, we're going to play Game 7 right afterwards. So we're going to move at an accelerated pace tonight because we might play 2. But as the great Ernie Banks probably said today, it's a great day for baseball. Let's play 1. So we'll see how it goes. If the Yankees win, it'd be their third title. Win 2 games. It'd be their third title out of 5 seasons. That's pretty dominant. But I know most of America are pulling for the Chicago Cubs. I got my Cubs Weber jersey up there. I got my vintage Lou Gehrig, one of my very favorite jerseys, because who doesn't love the Iron Horse? If you're new to Eternal Baseball, it's a great time to jump on because we're about to crown a champ and then work on our off season, which we don't actually disappear. We'll get into that a little bit later. Eternal Baseball, if you're new here, we call it the best baseball ever. It's every player, their best 3 consecutive seasons average to isolate their statistical peak. So that works as their statistical baseline. And then we play 32 teams, 162 games. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds of playoffs to crown an Eternal champion. Giants were our first champs. Then, what was it? Giants, Yankees, A's. And so now we're going to have our champion for Series 5. We're looking forward to it. Again, if you have any suggestions for lineups, for in-game strategy, God knows I need the help. And I've been very, very, very open in the history of Eternal Baseball that I am a Yankee fan. So, in my heart, we'll be pulling for New York. How I've done it throughout the playoffs as I sim each game, I keep an eye on how each game goes because I don't want any team starting their Game 2 starter in a blowout as relief in Game 1. So I've kept an eye on everybody. But by and large, I have controlled either the trailing team, if the series is moving along, or the home team, if it's Game 1 or the series is tied. So with the Cubs up 3-2, I'll be controlling the Yankees tonight. Series is back in the Bronx. We do want to make sure to say Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Appreciate that. Give your dad a call if you haven't, even if he's in bed. If you haven't, call him now. Thank him for being a good dad. And also happy birthday. A lot of luminaries here. Wade Boggs, Billy Williams, Andy Pettit, Brett Butler, Lance Parrish, Dusty Baker, Tim Lincecum. So there's some guys celebrating and happy birthday today. If you haven't been paying super close attention to the Eternal Series, the Yankees exploded in Game 1, hit 6 home runs, just drubbed the Cubs 14-3. And I know a lot of people are like, here we go again. But in Game 2, the Cubs answered back in a big way. Homers from Hack Wilson, Aramis Ramirez, and Billy Williams. They won Game 2 13-1. That's pretty exciting. And then the series shifted to Chicago. Mordecai Brown had a fantastic shutout. The Cubs won Game 3 2-0 to take a 2-1 lead in the series. And then Whitey Ford answered. Ford had pitched poorly in his lone ALCS start, but he pitched 8 strong innings, 1 earned run, The Cubs scratched one across against Rivera in the ninth, but the Yanks held on to win 3-2. That tied the series up 2 games apiece. Then game 5, which was actually today, the Cubs rallied to tie it at 3-3. They got like 4 2/3 scoreless innings combined from Carlos Marmol and Bruce Sutter, and Ron Santos double off the left field wall, scored Sammy Sosa to walk off the Yankees 4-3 in 12 innings. That's what gave the Cubs their 3-2 lead in the series. So let me share my screen here. The entire screen, because I'm generous like that. And you'll get a look at the, this is what the playoff window looks like in our game. And then, free plug here because we don't get paid. But the software we use is Action PC Baseball from DKSports.com. We love it. We think it's great. It's been good for us with only minor hiccups along the way. Probably user error. But if you want to trace each team, Chicago got in as a division winner of the always tough NL North. But in the best of 3 series, they skunked the Dodgers 2-0. Then they upset the Phillies, the team with the best record in all of eternal baseball, in the best of 5. This would have been the NLDS, 3-2. Took care of the NL South champion Braves 4-2 in the NLCS to move on here to the Eternal Series where they have that 3-2 lead over the Yankees. Yankees had the best record in the American League, so they skipped the wild card round. Kansas City advanced to face them, but got swept 3-0. Then they held off the Tigers 4-2. As a matter of fact, only one guy doesn't like our software. That's Ty Cobb, still searching for his first even decent season. There's always next year, Ty. But yeah, that's where we're at. 3-2. Cubs and Yanks. And it's a good pitching matchup. I mean, they pretty much all are. But it's Jake Arrieta for the Cubs, 3-0 with a 1.73 in the playoffs against Jack Chesbro, 2-2 with a 3.25 for the Yankees. If the Yanks win Game 6, Game 7 will be Mordecai Brown, 3-Finger Brown for the Cubs against Ron Guidry or Bob Shockey. One of the two would depend on what their pitch counts look like. But for now, it's time for baseball. So let's fire it up here. We're controlling both teams to start. And it will be, where am I? Jake Arrieta. Remember, these are regular season numbers over here. And Jack Chesbro. So against the right-hander, bat versus right. So I'm looking at, copied down before the game, the playoff OPS for all the notable Yankees and Cubs, so we can work on who's playing well right now and not just who had the best season, right? So for the Yankees, it looks like it's Derek Jeter leading off with Alex Rodriguez hitting third and playing third. Let's see. It's Bernie Williams hitting second and DHing. That's kind of cool. With Lou Gehrig cleaning up and Babe Ruth in the 5-hole. Ruth and Gehrig. Yeah, that's classic. Mickey Mantle has really struggled in this postseason, though. So next man up is Joe DiMaggio. Pretty good to go to the bench. Put in Joe DiMaggio. I'm pretty happy about that. Actually, wow, this is interesting. DiMaggio actually plays a good left as well. So you could play Bernie in center, but the defense would take a hit. So maybe Mantle actually gets in this lineup, but if he does, he'll be further down. Bill Dickey has had a terrible postseason, so we won't see him tonight. We'll see Yogi Berra instead. It'll be Tony Lazzari at second base. And then, we'll get the Mick in here hitting ninth. That's embarrassing, but it is what it is. All right, so flipping over here to the Cubs and how they batted in the regular season, ranking them versus OPS versus right-handers. And the monster in the postseason for them has been Hack Wilson. Still, probably always going to be one of my favorite baseball names. So we got Hack Wilson. Ron Santo has been incredible for them. So has Chris Bryant. It looks like maybe it's going to be Wilson, Mark Grace, Santo, Chris Bryant, right field. We'll see. That's all subject to approval. And yeah, if anybody wants to alter what we're looking at here, Gabby Hardman has been good. Oh, it's Riggs Stevenson who will DH because he's not real good at any position, but he has hit well. Rizzo sits. Billy Williams plays left field. He has scuffled a little bit. And that leaves us Sandberg and Ernie Banks. Wow, Banks has really struggled. Ernie Banks at shortstop. So I don't know if that knocks Tino out for no Javi Baez. Baez actually scored a key run in Game 5, I think, as a pinch runner. So he's a valuable guy to have. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, you don't want to get any of this on you. I agree with that. Seems legit. With that, I think we're ready for baseball.
Pitching for New York,
as my printer
number 19,
randomly turns
Jack
on in the background.
Chesbro. Leading off for Chicago, third baseman, Ron Santo.
Play ball!
All right. Remove my tasty beverage. All right, and we're ready for baseball. So we'll get up here. Now again, if you want somebody warming up, if you want somebody pinch hit for, if you think it's time for a pinch runner, I'm open for business, folks. Let me know.
The final score from Yankee Stadium, in 12 innings, Chicago 11, New York 10, Lee Smith picks up the win, Sparky Lyle picks up the loss, Billy Williams hit 2 home runs, he now has 4 on the season,
final.
Joe DiMaggio hit 2, he now has 2 on the season, Lou Gehrig hit number 5, time of the game, 4 hours, 41 minutes.
What just happened was, I accidentally simmed the game with the computer controlling both teams. So it's the fastest Eternal Baseball podcast of all time. But it looks like it was a hell of a game, including Chicago rallying with a 9-run 7th inning. Good Lord. They must have abused the Yankee pitching here. Well, there's no going back, folks. This is what happened. So, wow, what happened? Jack Chesbro got absolutely lit on fire. And Dave Rigetti, who had been the Yankees' best reliever all season, or all postseason, got lit up too. Let's check the recap. For this ridiculous 7th inning where the Cubs sent 12 batters to the plate, scoring 9 runs on 6 hits, 2 walks, and an error. Good gravy. And then in the 9th, the Yankees scored 3 runs to come back and tie it up. Lou Gehrig with a solo home run to make it 10-8 Cubs. Joe DiMaggio hit a 2-run home run to tie it up at 10-10. In the 10th, the Yankees failed to score on 3 walks. That's rough. And in the 12th, it was Billy Williams hitting a solo home run to take the lead. Who did he homer off? Let's see that. Lee Smith ends up getting the win. With Sparky Lyle giving up a solo shot to Billy Williams. And just like that, the Cubs beat the Yanks 11-10. And we have brand new eternal champions. I apologize. I did not do that on purpose. But there's no going back. That's real baseball. And the only sadness here is it looks like it was an absolute hell of a game. Was Steve Harvey mailed me today? I could have used the help. I'll be very honest with you. Well, it's not representative of the ins and outs of a normal Eternal Baseball podcast. I'm sorry that we didn't get to go through it. But God, it looks like it was an amazing game that we missed. The teams combined for 29 hits. But just like that, fly the W. And the Chicago Cubs are the eternal champions here of season 5. I thought we might be playing 2 games tonight. We didn't play 1 game tonight. So I guess it's a good thing Roto didn't hustle back. Anyway, we'll get the box scores up and we'll celebrate this Cubs victory. So I apologize for how fast that went. It was not what I had planned. Oh, was that? Yeah, that was right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Well, looks like it was a great game. We got the Cubs winning. And wow, that's how the Eternal Series wraps up. So congratulations to the Chicago Cubs, champions of Eternal Baseball. The season ends, but Eternal Baseball doesn't. We'll have our award winners, our nominees up this week. So look for the American League. I think we'll start with American League MVP, 6 nominees. Then NL MVP, AL Cy Young, NL Cy Young. We'll reveal those winners next week. Then we'll announce our fielding champions. And then we'll post the season stats for every team, 1 per day. That'll keep us moving for a little while. And then there is an actual off season. And one of the things I promised in the off season, yeah, right. And this is to make sure Tino's well appeased. I'm going to sim a season where I monkey with Ty Cobb's numbers a little bit, because he's had a guy who's hitting 400 over 3 seasons for his peak stats, and he's never even hit 300 in Eternal Baseball. So, I mean, everybody's stats suffer because they're facing the best pitching ever, all at its peak too. But that's kind of ridiculous. So I'm wondering if the software doesn't quite understand the proliferance of bunt singles that Ty Cobb was able to do. And when they played back, he could bunt it for a single in front of him. When they played up, he'd hit it right past him or over him. So I'm going to change his number, not his number of hits, but I'm going to drop the number of them that were sacrifice hits and see if that somehow changes it. I can sim a season without looking at it in 10 minutes maybe. So I want to try that alteration to see if we can get a more representative season out of Ty Cobb next year. And yeah, we'll be back with another season right after the World Series. One thing we will be watching for is rookies this year in Major League Baseball who are good enough to make rosters. And that might seem a little weird, but it works for some of the expansion teams, right? It wouldn't like Skeens is a great example for the Pirates, right? He's only had 1.5 Major League seasons, but his numbers were so good that he couldn't be denied. So we drop him in with 1 season's worth of stats, and then we average in year 2 and year 3 as the guy goes along. And if he's not good enough, he drops out. Nolan Jones is a good example for the Colorado Rockies, who was a hot rookie, struggled in his second year, and now isn't on the roster, at least not on the active roster. So if you have a rook that you want us to take a look at, let us know. You can find us on our Facebook page. You can send it to us at eternalbaseball.com. We're on Instagram. We're on X. It's not hard to find us. So that's it. In what was truly a bit of a strange season 5 with the reboot mid-year and this suddenness. But I got to say, I'm kind of happy with the Cubs championship. So congratulations to the North Side. Fly that W. Congratulations on your win. And we appreciate you guys being with us all season and being with us tonight for the shortest edition ever of the Eternal Baseball Podcast. Have a great night.